Fellow South Africans, Sanibonani, my name is Anna Elengiti, and I'm here representing Syndicate 3, Team Jabari. Today, I will be taking you through the theory of psychological contracts, which is one of the key theories of human behavior. Our agenda will focus on unpacking three key areas, namely, what is a psychological contract and the theory behind it, how we have applied the theory learned in our skit, and lastly, how we can all apply the theory within the business context. One of the most popular definitions of a psychological contract is by Rousseau, who defines it as an individual's belief in mutual obligations between that person and another party, such as an employer. So, how do you know if you are dealing with a psychological contract? Well, the main features include the following. It is based on beliefs or perceptions of individuals that are implicit or inferred from implied promises, where conclusions are drawn from observed behaviors. It is also based on a perceived agreement between parties, that is, the content is not specifically formally agreed. There is also an emphasis on the principle of reciprocity, where things are done for the mutual benefit of all parties. These contracts typically evolve constantly through interactions with people and changing expectations. There are 4 types of psychological contracts, which vary based on the characteristics of performance terms and duration. Transactional contracts contain specific behaviors or performance terms and are short in duration, whereas balanced contracts include a mix of transactional and relational promises and obligations and are generally longer term with specified performance terms. Relational contracts have a longer duration but do not have specified performance terms attached. They also tend to offer a wider range of benefits and opportunities in exchange for an extensive commitment to the job. Transitional contracts are short in duration with specified terms. An example would be where a company changes the terms of the contract in response to a crisis or a transient event. Soares and Mosquera's results show that both relational and balanced contracts, which are those that include socio-emotional and developmental support, have a significantly positive impact on work engagement, while both transactional and transitional contracts have a significantly negative impact on work engagement. Longer-term contracts are more effective in enhancing work engagement as opposed to shorter-term contracts. So, what are some of the key challenges with such contracts? Firstly, the terms of the contract are not agreed upon by the parties involved, which may lead to conflict. Secondly, it is dependent on reciprocity between the parties involved, and there are no clear benefits for either party. Again, this could result in misinterpretation and ultimately lead to demotivation. We are now going to demonstrate how we applied the theory in our video. The setting of our skit was a consulting firm whose employees are working from home. The business is experiencing a downturn because of the COVID pandemic and requires more effort from the team. On the other hand, the team is aggrieved that they are not being adequately compensated for the extra work effort. In applying the theory, we identified the different contracts that can be observed in the skit. We picked mostly transitional contract elements, that is, expectation to work outside working hours, being available on the phone all the time, and acceptance of working conditions because of a high salary. All these indicate declining rewards. The promised incentives for working from home demonstrate a transactional contract, while Vumila's long service award shows us a relational contract. And finally, the threat by the CEO to limit career progression because of non-performance of some employees indicates a balanced contract. So, how can psychological contracts be applied in the workplace? Psychological contracts can be used to measure factors that could impact employee behavior, create a motivational work environment where employees feel that there is a reciprocal relationship between themselves and the company, and to drive specific employee behaviors. The theory is also closely related to organizational commitment, where a breach of contract could result in low commitment, employee engagement, and organizational justice. Therefore, As a leader or team member in the workplace, you can apply this theory in the following manner. Be aware of the items that could form part of a psychological contract and from both perspectives, and actively address these items in order to motivate staff. You also need to be aware that different contracts may exist at different levels of employment, and that different things may motivate individuals across the different levels. As noted previously, those contracts including both socio-emotional and developmental psychological dimensions will increase workplace engagement. We have now concluded our presentation. We hope that from both the explanations of the theory and the video skit, we were able to demonstrate not only our insights, but also the practical applications of the theory for better decision making in the workplace. Remember, human beings are not only different, but also complex. Therefore, understanding human behavior can be a key to unlocking better organizational performance. Salani kahle, and thank you.